He was the most famous gunslinger of the Wild West, a name that struck fear into entire towns. Yet he died without ever drawing his weapon. I'm talking about Wild Bill Hickok. He wasn't killed in a dramatic duel at high noon. There was no warning, just a single gunshot from behind in a smoky saloon. His story is a classic tale of the American frontier, where legend and reality are often hard to separate. Born in 1837 as James Butler Hickok, he grew up in Illinois and learned to shoot at a young age. He quickly understood that in the untamed West, the law of the land was often less important than the speed of your draw and the steadiness of your nerves. As a young man, he headed for the frontier, a place where laws were weak and guns were a part of daily life. His reputation as a gunslinger truly began with a duel that became the stuff of legend. Imagine it, two men facing each other, the distance between them filled with a deafening silence. Then a single shot. Hickok's aim was true, his opponent fell. That single moment catapulted him to fame and made him a man to be feared. Newspapers got a hold of the story and did what they do best. They exaggerated it, embellishing the facts until the man, James Hickok, transformed into the myth of Wild Bill. Hickok was smart. He understood the power his new reputation held. He learned to use his own legend as a weapon. His intense stare, his confident posture, and his unnervingly calm presence were often enough to de-escalate a tense situation and prevent violence before it even started. But that wasn't always the case. He served as a lawman in some of the roughest, most chaotic cattle towns in America, places like Hays City and Abilene, Kansas. In the line of duty, he did kill men. It wasn't for sport or pleasure. It was a grim necessity in a world that rarely offered second chances. The Wild West was unforgiving, and as a peace officer, he had to be just as tough. Over time, the myths surrounding him began to spiral out of control, far outgrowing the reality. People started claiming he had killed dozens, even hundreds of men. While these numbers are not historically proven, what is certain is this: he was incredibly fast, remarkably precise, and absolutely deadly when the situation demanded it. He was more of a legend than a serial killer. But then came the decline. His most crucial tool, his sharp eyesight, began to fail him again. The man whose life and reputation depended on his vision started to lose it. His days as a gunslinging lawman were over. So Hickok turned to another profession: gambling. He traded his pistols for playing cards and the rule of law for the turn of a poker hand. In 1876, his path led him to Deadwood, a lawless boomtown in the Dakota Territory, driven by gold, greed, and a constant undercurrent of violence. Even with his fading eyesight, Hickok trusted his reputation to protect him. He believed that no one would be foolish enough to challenge him face to face. And that belief, tragically, would be his fatal mistake. On August 2nd, during a poker game at Nuttall and Mann's saloon, he did something he almost never did. He sat with his back to the door. A disgruntled gambler named Jack McCall walked in. There were no words exchanged, no dramatic standoff, not even eye contact. McCall raised his pistol and fired a single shot into the back of Hickok's head. Wild Bill died instantly. The cards he was holding, 2 black aces and 2 black eights, would forever be known as the dead man's hand. His killer was eventually captured and hanged, but Wild Bill Hickok became immortal. The irony of his death is brutal. The man famous for facing his enemies in open duels was killed by an act of pure cowardice. The man who embodied the spirit of the Wild West was ultimately consumed by its treachery. Wild Bill Hickok wasn't a hero from a Hollywood movie. He was a complex man, shaped and defined by a ruthless era. His life is a powerful reminder of how easily reality can blur into legend, and how dangerous it can be to start believing in your own myth. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories from the past. See you next time.